Let's talk about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is kind of in the hot seat right now with the disability community, after she made some unkind remarks in the sense of Kim Kardashian's Skims brand, which is women's underwear, and how Skims use, a model who is a wheelchair user. Candace Owens did not appreciate Skims using a model in a wheelchair, and it just seemed to confuse her. And I think it'll make sense if I play for you what she said. So let me play that for you here. Here is her comments that got her into trouble.
Really? That's all I'm going to say is really. I don't really understand how far we're going to take this inclusivity thing. I really don't get it. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, again, educate me. Today, I just want to be educated in the comments. If people that are in wheelchairs were thinking as they were looking around, like, what really upsets me? That I've never seen a bra and underwear advertised with a girl in a wheelchair. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't know why this needed to be done. I'm just getting tired of this all inclusivity thing. It seems ridiculous. Look, I assumed that people that were in wheelchairs also have to buy bras and have to buy underwear. It's just something that I just assumed that was a thing. I didn't know that we needed to see that in our face.
And this is what Candace Owens was talking about. This is the image she saw when she was looking at Skims underwear. Candace Owens, what are you doing? What are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why does it bother you so much to see a model in a wheelchair? It's really nothing. Like, why is that something that you feel you need to get on camera and talk about? Why are you trying to group disability inclusion in with leftist shit? This is what bothers me about it, right? I hate when conservatives discuss accessibility requests and activism as if it's something that only the far left need or are requesting or wanting.
So basically every campaign for anything now needs to look like we need the token black person, we need the token fat person, we need a person that is disabled, we need the trans person to show that we're inclusive and that we're loving. The other reason is because they want to placate the literal mob. There was a mob that descended on me yesterday.
Accessibility is neutral of a political party. There are disabled Republicans, there are disabled Democrats, and there's disabled people all in between, the far left and the far right. The disability community has every type of person, every ethnicity, every gender, every sexuality, everyone. Don't link accessibility with the left, because it's not true. Candace Owens, let's not forget that anyone can become disabled. I have RP, I'm losing my vision, but I could also get hit by a bus tomorrow and then be a wheelchair user. Anyone can become disabled. And as you age, you may become disabled. Not maybe, you will become disabled. If you live long enough, you will be disabled. So, anything that makes things more accessible is going to help you at some point in your life. So let people make things more accessible. That's all this is. And I know you may be saying accessibility versus disability models are different. It's not, because the Skims product line that she's discussing was made specifically to help people in wheelchairs or living with disabilities, be more independent, which is something that I guarantee you Candace Owens would appreciate if she happened to become disabled one day. She would not have this opinion. It's actually an elitist opinion that she has, where she's saying that keep that shit separate from the normal shit. Keep that wheelchair shit away from me. I want the normal shit. That's what she's saying. And she knows she's wrong, but now she has to double down on it. And she won't admit she's wrong, even though she had tons of people on the internet go after her. So after being in the hot seat, this is how she had to respond.
Oops, I did it again, people, and not in a good way. Landed myself in some hot water yesterday. Very surprised. Suddenly I was being tagged by a ton of people that were in wheelchairs. And there's no other way to say it other than they want to whip my ass. I need your help. I'm in a lot of trouble. Let's talk about that. First and foremost, let's debunk the idea that I am an ableist. I thought that was really, really interesting, that I somehow wanted to pursue disabled people and I wanted them out of spaces, because that is an absolute nonsense. First and foremost, as I said, if you are a listener to the show, you know that I often talk about my pet peeves of ad campaigns where you can no longer see the product that they're advertising for.
All right, so here she's talking about, she's not mad that it's a wheelchair user. She's mad because she can't see the product that's being advertised. Tell me in this picture where you can't see the product being advertised. Tell me where in this photo that you can't see the product. I would love to know that. So what are you even talking about? All right, let's hear her talk more about this.
I do want to make a couple of notes, though. First and foremost, it is important for me to tell the world something, irrespective of whether or not you're Black, disabled, or you are fat, whatever the issue is. I want you to know something. Everything is not for you. That's the truth. Nobody wants to tell you guys this. In a way where everyone's like, I need to be seen everywhere. I need to see myself everywhere. Everything is not meant to be for you. So maybe you are a diabetic and you are watching a commercial for ice cream. Guess what? Maybe that particular commercial, not sugar-free ice cream.
But you're seeing the commercial. You're seeing it. Take your own advice. Those Skims line might not be for you. Move on. Candace, you're the one who made the comment. You're the one who brought it up. You should have take your own advice. See the ad for Skims. It's adaptive clothing line. Not for me. Move on. But instead, you publicly talked about it, and now you're backtracking. Take your own advice.
Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you have no hair. Maybe you're born with a condition. That means that you're not able to grow hair. And you're watching ads for shampoo. Guess what? It's not for you. I imagine there are...
That's also a really stupid argument. Because what you're saying, shampoo, having no hair in shampoo ads is completely different than someone living with a disability and is a wheelchair user. That you can't even group those two into the same thing. Are you trying to compare having no hair and seeing a shampoo ad versus being a wheelchair user and needing, actually needing tools and clothing that you can actually use, and adaptive clothing that makes your life better and helpful? Are you really comparing the two? I don't even know how much I want to play about this. But basically, she's saying inclusion doesn't matter, and that everyone, if they really wanted to, could find find a way where they don't feel included. And yeah, there's some truth into that. But that's like, what does that even mean in terms of your argument, Candace? It's like, you're the one who made the comment. The disability community didn't make the comment. The disability community is angry at you for making the comment. Literally, none of this communication would have happened if you didn't make that comment. You're the problem. Don't get mad at the disability community for coming after you if you're saying dumb shit. If you want to address the disability community, be prepared for them to come back at you. That's how this works. You know that. Maybe it's all part of your plan anyways. The Two Blind Brothers had a really interesting post and perspective on this. Here's what they said.
Here's my perspective. The commentary, people say, I don't want to see this. This is stupid. If this is the thing that causes you to make a post or a comment and take time out of your day, you are screwing up. You're really, really, really screwing up, because you have to be forward looking. If you're getting so deeply involved with something that does not affect you personally, you are getting played. Think about the things that actually affect you and lean into those things.
And I did not take his advice. I did take the time out of my day to talk about this on video. I think it's a great thing to end on when discussing this Candace Owens piece, because we got better shit to think about. We got better shit to do in our day-to-day life. How can you make your life better today? Don't let Candace Owens ruin your day. Don't let Candace Owens affect your self-esteem. If you think inclusion matters to you and seeing someone in a wheelchair and seeing a model in a wheelchair matters to you, then that's all that matters. I think it's safe to say that there's always going to be people out there who think completely different than you, and they're not going to change their mind. They're going to be hard-headed, just like Candace Owens is. And you just kind of have to learn to accept that. There's going to be hard-headed people out there. Candace Owens seems like the type of person who you would never want at your party. I'm sorry to say this, but she seems so cold. Like, I feel bad for her husband. Whoever her husband is, I feel bad for that man. I know for a fact that Candace Owens would be a hard woman to be married to. I couldn't imagine that. It's like, does she smile? Does she smile? What's her sense of humor? Like, what kind of movie, like, if you ask Candace Owens what her favorite comedy was, I would love to know the answer to that, It just seems like she's constantly in this cold mood and just kind of has this kind of scornful look on her face and talks down to you in a condescending tone. Oh, man, I can't imagine being married to her. Whew. I think even people who watch her show don't want to hang out with her. I honestly think that even if you're a fan of hers and you watch her show, I think deep down in your heart, you don't want to hang out with her. I think deep down you're like, that kind of question where people talk about, if you could have dinner with one celebrity or if you could have dinner with anyone, who would you have dinner with? I don't think anyone's picking Candace Owens. She's just too cold, man. Too cold. And that's me being very nice. That's me being very nice to use the word cold. But yeah, that's all I'll say about the Candace Owens, shenanigans. My main point is that I just hate when accessibility issues are grouped and linked to being progressive or is like part of the progressive agenda. It's not. It's all the same. Accessibility is for everyone. It doesn't matter what political party you're in. And that's the main point I wanted to make.